Yeah. Okay, fuckers and fuckettes, now I've got the side covers done for the Dream, and you notice they're polished instead of painted. And that's because back in the day, when we were really running these things around, this one's still got a little bit more polishing to do. But back in the day when we were running these things around, nobody left that fucked up ass paint on there. We all either polished them ourselves or had our buddy with the polisher do them. And now, y'all remember this bike. This is that 69. I'd ignore the fucking tank because that came off of a 72. This is a K0 1969 CB350. Even says so right here on the thing. Manufactured 9 of 68. Titled as a 69. Back in the day when we were running these things around, you can't see it what's up under there for coils, but there's some Blue Wonders up there, and they ain't the Honda Blue Wonders. They're fucking real Blue Wonder coils. That was a brand back then. They've long since been out of business. I think they went out of business in the mid-70s, but that's the kind of shit we really did. I mean, we used Blue Wonders if we couldn't afford XLs. You know, and little things like nobody kept the Phillips screws in the cases. Everybody put in these little Allen bolts. Well, you know, because if you had to go back into it, them Phillips screws is a motherfucker to get out. You know, everybody that's ever replaced their starter, which is what I was doing to this one today, I replaced the starter. Everybody that's replaced their starter, they've always changed them to hex bolts that are easy to get in and out. The stock air filters were restrictive. The side covers, y'all have already seen in another video, cover these beautifully, and you can't even tell that it's got them M-GOs on there, which actually flow a little bit better than the K&Ns. And the carbs are appropriately jetted for the air filters. They're appropriately jetted for these Dunstall pipes, which is also the kind of shit that we really ran. And the whole point of this video is, you know, when you're doing restorations, and by the way, when the bike is sitting down on the ground, that gap is not there. It's only there, see, because these are also off the 72 and they're a little bit shorter than the 68 ones. When it's on the ground, I mean, she sits down nice and you don't see that gap in there. And they're big enough diameter up top. I mean, I can get my thumb between there, you know, to where they're never going to scrape on that. I love that, you know, Type 1. You know, and y'all watch me polish them things in one video or another, and there's been a lot of polish work done on this since it left here too. And little things like that, I mean, that cannot be worked out. I tried and tried and tried. I can't work that out, but the side looks really good. And re-chroming that chain guard, yeah, it's probably better to go on eBay and just find another chain guard. It'd be cheaper. But at the same time, you know, it looks really damn good. And fuel's not on. But, you know, little things like, you know, those are genuine 1970s style clamps, even though they're brand new. They're 1970s style. And little things like that, the little filters, I mean, yeah, okay, those didn't come around until the late 70s in that shape. I mean, they used to be a little bit bigger, and they weren't quite that shape. They were more of a tube with a round thing at the top. But, you know, hey, you got to have fuel filters on one this old. You don't have to, but you want to. You know, and little things like the louder horn from the 75, those are good things, because, you know, this is South Florida. These rolling pharmacies cannot hear your fucking ass. And I just did an oil change on this because I had to take the cover off to do the starter. I showed y'all in another video how to do starters on these old 350 twins. But to me, that's the kind of restoration that, you know, it brings back the memories. This is what you had in college, you burned up in high school, you know, your buddy had, and it was better than yours, and you really wanted that shit back then. You know, that's, to me, that's the memories. That's the, you know, you're not just, when you're doing these things, you're not just restoring a motorcycle, you're restoring memories. Or you're bringing back memories at the bare minimum. You know, and all the little things like using the rubbers up under, I don't have the chrome cover on here, I'm polishing it. But using the rubber out of a 73 or 72 on a 69 set of forks, that was the difference between these bitches having the whole front end rattle going down the road in 6 months, or having something nice and tight that never fucking rattled. You know, and granted, believe it or not, the signal lights front and rear were an accessory on these. They were not an actual came with it item. Most dealers did order them in. This bike was ordered in with it. I've got the whole history on this bike. Don't ask. I've got a friend up in Ohio. But you know, little things like that. You know, and normally, I mean, all right, say I was doing this for me personally to ride. These would be Coneys back here. Or at bare minimum some Foxes off of Kawasaki, because that's the kind of shit we actually rode. We didn't ride the standard stock shocks. I mean, if we did, we had them fuckers clicked up all the way to the top, maximum tension, because most of us redneck motherfuckers that rode these things, we didn't have the 70-pound girlfriend. We had to have them fuckers on. We had to have them springs on maximum tension because our girlfriends was, well, not really fat, but a little bit overweight.
If they were yours, they must have been fat.
All right, y'all heard Dennis's comment from the peanut gallery there. You know, and little things like the skull valve caps. Okay, this one has not received those yet. But, you know, or the dice valve caps. We all did that shit. None of us left the stock fucking boring ass plastic valve cap on there. You know, and most of us, if we were really riding it, we'd put a bead locker on the fucking back rim. And then our yuppie buddies would have some dealer put a bead locker on the back rim because they seen us doing it. Well, okay, they weren't yuppies back then, and they weren't really hippies, because hippies at least would turn their own wrenches. They were always too broke to have anybody else do it. And there goes Dennis moving shit around again to where I won't find it. Yeah, I found it. It was in the damn drawer. You did move it. You also moved my fucking sandpaper.
How about this?
My sandpaper was no longer in the 5th drawer down over here. It was in the next row of goddamn drawers.
I did move it.
Fucker.
I did move it down.
Yeah, you did. You did it when you were fixing them drawers. I mean, it's a good thing because you were fixing the drawers, but goddamn, you moved it.
Did you see your LED lights?
Yeah, those are the cheapoid ones. I still haven't found the ovals, and I still haven't found the ones. I've got 2 sets of the ones where they replace the damn headlight. I've got a 6-inch and I've got a 5-inch.
I got a 9-incher.
And I've got one that's got a, like for these where it takes that separate bulb by itself, it's not a sealed beam. I've got one that fits in those.
Okay.
And that one is handmade because that's from all them LEDs. Remember I had that piece of aluminum?
Yeah, I remember.
And I was making that. I've still got that somewhere. I just don't know where the fuck it is. Alright, anyway. Y'all got a bonus show out of that. Dennis calls it organizing. I call it that motherfucker hid some shit. Holler at y'all fuckers and fuckettes later.